This is FYI, conversations with interesting people about fascinating projects happening in Ohio.
And I'm JT Burcham. Welcome to FYI. Today, not one, but two interesting people. Rich Harmon and David Fisher, thank you both for being here. So nice to have you with us. I only know enough to be dangerous today. I was told that you guys are bringing hope to West Carrollton, and I don't even know exactly what that entails. So, first of all, Rich and David, thank you for being here. What was the issue that caused you to start working together? Where did it start?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. It's a blessing to be here. Really, it dates back 10 or so years ago. I attend church at Zion in the West Carrollton, Moraine, Miami Township area. And we as a church were looking to be more active in the community. And as we started to take a look at the West Carrollton community, we recognized that there were some gaps, some areas where churches maybe weren't working together as much as they could be, both together and with the city or the schools. And it was brought to me by a close friend, Sarah Pelfrey, that in Miamisburg, just down the road from us, they were starting this thing called Hope for Miamisburg. And it was part of the Miami Valley Leadership Foundation, which is a local foundation here that has a mission of really trying to bring people of good faith and goodwill, just people who want to make a difference in their community, together to have an impact on local communities. And so I was blessed in 2018, right around that time period, to go to a meeting of Hope for Miamisburg. And it was a group of people. It was everyone from churches and pastors to the schools, the Miamisburg schools, to the city officials, and then just representatives of the Leadership Foundation getting together. And the whole purpose was to say, what can we do together for the Miamisburg area? And the way they would do it is each member would just say what they have going on and what needs they would have. So it'd be wonderful to see the school would say, hey, we have a need for one of our students, or we have a need here or there. And you would just watch people jump on and band together, very civically minded together, to say, hey, we want to band together to not duplicate resources and to just do great things together. So I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to West Carrollton Nazarene, where Rich is an outreach pastor, and a few other churches in the area, because we tend to like to make churches our foundation to put the group together. But it's really just anybody that has a heart to help the community. It's about nonprofit organizations coming together with churches, the schools, the city, and we all just meet once a month to try and say, hey, how can we not duplicate resources, but instead, how can we, by listening to one another, build capacities within each other to just help a community grow and to get better. So that was kind of the baseline of what we saw is that other communities maybe had already had a jump ahead of West Carrollton through Hope for Communities, or just churches getting together to try and help the schools in the city. And it was something we just, from our hearts, wanted to bring to the West Carrollton area. And I'll let Rich, maybe I know you had that same kind of hope that you had been looking for with banding together with others. So maybe let you kind of speak a little more to that as well.
Sure. Hey, yeah, Jake, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to highlight what we're doing here in West Carrollton. And, as David said, I come alongside him somewhere in the 2021 area. And it's just been a great opportunity not only to bring, the city, the schools, the businesses, the other non-for-profits within the Miami Valley together at a table, as well as the churches. That was a big thing that I had a passion for when I became the outreach pastor here at West Carrollton Nazarene, was to reach out and work more in a collaborative way with the other churches in the community. And it's just been a great catalyst for that.
Well, God must be at work if people are working together. I say that to be humorous, but it is neat to see when people work together. So what have been some of the, can you share a success story or two that maybe things were falling through the gap, and because you were meeting together with others, that you were able to fill a gap that maybe might have never been known? Any success story?
Absolutely. We work closely with the schools. David, our mentoring program, and through our being with the schools, inside the schools, we're able to see a lot of the needs. We work closely with one of the social workers there, Nicole, and she's just outstanding on bringing needs to myself. And man, I could go on for a lot more time than we're allotted here today in all the ways that God has worked through our partnership with the schools alone. But we also work through the city. With code enforcement, they bring projects to us. We're in the process of actually working on one right now that's going to be a pretty large scale project where we're doing a lot of renovation work to the outside of elderly widow's home here in West Carrollton. One of the ways that we have served a big win, if you will, is last winter we was made aware by the code enforcement department that there was an elderly widow and her sister living together here in West Carrollton, and their electric was in really bad shape. Their furnace hadn't worked in a number of years, and we were able to go in. Code enforcement called me. I went into the house and made some assessments, and through the course of working with contractors, work that we did as partnerships through Hope for West Carrollton, the churches in Hope for West Carrollton donating funds to help get these ladies an operational furnace, and we ended up replacing her entire electrical panel and everything that would tie to that, even on the outside of the house, because the house was at any time could have burnt down just because of the situation with the electric alone. So that's just one of the many ways that we've been able to work in the community and really allow Jesus to shine in all that we've done.
That is so cool. David, anything to add there?
Well, the one neat thing, and to add there with what Rich has brought up, is what we love to do is connect dots of people who want to be able to help and to pitch in and to do things. And I think that's one of the most rewarding parts about the Hope For model, is it allows us to connect the dots of different people, whether it's different contractors. I know Rich had an electrician that was so generous to donate their time. But it's, a lot of times I think in communities, there are people who want to help, but sometimes don't know how to help because no one's helping them find projects and to do things to connect the dots. And it really does break down walls between churches. You kind of, made a joke there, which is true. It is historically hard to get churches to want to work collaboratively together. And the neatest part of this model is it gives us something to work together on, to just and to be with people who maybe aren't fully in any church, because if they just have a heart to want to help others or help in the community, then we have a home for them. So I just think it's really neat. He did mention the schools and mentoring, and that is one of our big projects that we love to do, is to mentor in the schools. So we're always recruiting mentors. I wouldn't be I need to, as someone that loves mentoring, to throw it out there. If anybody has any interest at all in mentoring, to please make sure to contact the Miami Valley Leadership Foundation at our website, and that we will be glad to connect them to a school in any area with mentoring. So, it's just Rich, the team, and all of us together just are very appreciative. So.
If you've just tuned in, we're talking with Rich Harmon and David Fisher of Hope for West Carrollton. Now, we are talking to folks all across the Miami Valley. What do you say to the other community across the way who is thinking about doing something like this? What have been some of the hurdles? What have been some of the windfalls? Where has it gone good? Where has it gone bad? Any ideas?
Well, we've been very blessed to be one of the first within the Miami Valley. I think we was in the first 4 communities that became a Hope For community. There's been hurdles, but the great thing is if you're a pastor or if you're a leader in your community out there today, the best thing that I can recommend you do is contact Miami Valley Leadership Foundation and talk to Jay Schindler. He is the president, and he has, alongside with Todd Baker, and has just developed a great program. And a lot of that has been a collaboration of us beginning Hope for Communities, coming together and talking about all the issues that we're having as far as getting things rolling. So really, it's laid out in a process now where you don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. That's been done. So if you come across an issue in your community and trying to start a program like this, I guarantee you we've probably walked through it. But if you want an organization who's going to back you 100% and bring a lot of value to the table, Miami Valley Leadership Foundation is who our umbrella parent company is, if you will. And they're just an outstanding team. Shannon Todd as well. She runs all of our mentoring. She's the program director for Miami Valley Leadership Foundation. And those three are just an outstanding team that gives a tremendous amount of value to what we do out here in the field. We're kind of on the ground, if you will. But the other great thing about it is if you were to go through Miami Valley Leadership Foundation and start a Hope For in your community, you're not only going to have those three to pull from, but also all the other directors who've already been there and done that, if you will, we're willing to come right alongside you to help out in any way we can.
Yeah, so cool. Rich Harmon, David Fisher. Now I'm going to tell you, almost brings a tear to my eye to hear community working with church for widows, for school students needing mentors. This is what the church and government is supposed to be doing right here.
Sure.
All right, just a couple minutes left, David. You got us into this. What's next for Hope For? What's down the pike? And we've not talked about funding either. Is there funding in this? How does that happen?
Well, first of all, I think the neat thing is you asked a question how other communities, and Rich gave a great answer. The fun thing is to watch and just to feel this growing within the Miami Valley. I think there are now well over 10 Hope For communities throughout the Miami Valley. So the future is just to continue to collaborate and work together. But there's things that we have actively going in West Carrollton. And, Rich mentioned the school system. There's new programs that we're developing with the schools to help fill needs for students faster. And neighborhood bridges is a new thing that we're reaching out to do with the schools. So we're really excited about the upcoming school year and what that will bring. And from a funding perspective, we have always, we're more of an organization of connecting dots, letting people do what they do great. So for instance, if there's a non-for-profit, we work heavily with like different food pantries and clothing pantries and bed resources and other things. They tend to have their own funding resources, and we're just connecting the dots and trying to make sure that we're not duplicating resources so that things are being done wisely. But there are going to be community funds for the first time available that the Miami Valley Leadership Foundation has received some grants. And they are going to be, we're looking at a process now saying, hey, please put in and submit for projects that you would like to have done. It is a partnership with Kettering Medical. And so we are very, very appreciative of that partnership and them helping us to try and really look at core issues within cities, which a lot of that relates to mental, physical health, hunger, housing, and just being kinder and just doing good things. So that is on the very initial phases. But the most important piece has been to try and just organically be that we are our members. Our members are the dots that connect and want to be a part of, getting into people's lives and helping them. And then as growing civically, it is a really, really, I don't want to say an old-fashioned model, but it's a model that works so well within our country of just people wanting to take care of those within their community, to build one another up. So that's what our future hope is.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. David Fisher, Rich Harmon, thank you so much for what you're doing in West Carrollton and for being a light to the rest of us in the Miami Valley to spread a little hope. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, JT.
Hey, thank you so much for having us.